Welcome to the Option Pit Highlight Show. I am Mark Sebastian, your only option, and we're here to talk the one stock that we're watching this week. What you're going to get, I'm going to break down the fundamentals, and then Leisha Leslie, the queen of the candles, is going to break down the chart, and then Andrew is going to break down the volatility analysis. Then we're going to group together and develop a trade. And today's stock, with everything going on in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin launches an ETF. Bitcoin to the moon. Bitcoin rocket. Bitcoin temporary top. And I think a lot of people saw the writing on the wall. I don't think this surprised any of the three of us that we got this pullback. I was warning people that were big Bitcoin bulls that something like this could happen. But where I think people maybe got caught flat-footed is what's happened in the Bitcoin adjacent stocks. I want to pull up Coinbase. It's up $4 right now, but look at the trouble that it's had. And Coinbase is going to be the stock that we talk about today. But then there's also Mara, which has just gone kind of straight down until last Friday. And then Riot Blockchain looks not that great. ARKB, which holds a ton of Bitcoin, not ARKB, ARKK, which holds a ton of Bitcoin, did not participate in a lot of the Q rally because Coinbase is such a big portion of their portfolio and Tesla. So, now we've had a week of these ETFs out. So far, there's a lot of them out there. But when we look at the volumes, and I just want to briefly talk about these ETFs themselves. When you look at kind of the stock volume, BTCO, which is Invesco, average daily volume has been about 1 million. Then there's let's see. There's a couple other ones that I want that are important. There's FBTC. This is the other pretty active one. This fidelity wise, and it's been doing about 10 million a day. This and ARKB, ARKB, which is averaging about 3 million. Those have been the two most active ETFs. With FB, if you want to follow an ETF with the most volume, you want to follow FBTC. This is the Bitcoin ETF that is the most actively traded. Again, it's averaging about 10 million shares a day. Now, that sounds like a lot. It's really not when you put it in perspective of something like even some of the lesser ETFs. So like an EEM on an average day is doing about 27 million. EWZ, which is Brazil, does about 21 million shares a day. So it's active, and there are so many ETFs splitting it up that collectively they're trading, about an EWZ. Call it about 15 to 20 million ETF shares a day are trading. All right. Now, the narrative with Coin was that with the launch of Bitcoin ETFs, this means that Bitcoin will now be considered widely adopted. It will be considered an official asset class. People will want to invest in Bitcoin, and it will drive trading onto Coinbase. That is the bull narrative. I do not buy this bull narrative, and I'll tell you why.
You think it's bull shiitake?
No. I get why that narrative, and long term, it will lead to some increase in adoption, which and Coinbase isn't going anywhere. But in the near term, and in the really, I think, intermediate. Anybody who is not a full-on Bitcoin enthusiast and anybody that is, just passively interested in Bitcoin, and especially some of these family offices and, wealthy individuals, they're going to feel a lot better having their dollars in the Bitcoin Trust with Fidelity and paying maybe a little bit extra than they are going to be going directly to Coinbase. When you invest in coin, you're always worried about a hack. You're always worried about these Bitcoin scams, things like that. Coinbase is the best of these exchanges. If I was going to invest in Bitcoin, and truth be told, I own a little Bitcoin and I have an account at Coinbase. But if I was going to put dollars into a Bitcoin position, and I just want to be passive and I want to have all my assets in one place, I'm going to leave my account at Fidelity. I'm going to leave my account at Vanguard. I'm going to leave my account at Merrill or Raymond James or Schwab. And I'm just going to invest in one of these ETFs instead of pulling money out and putting it into a Coinbase. So I actually think what this does is reduces some of the larger account openings in coin. You'll still have small investors, people with $5,000, $10,000 going directly into crypto. But I think that in the near term, this is bearish for Coinbase. Now, here's the other thing about coin. Their earnings and, the earnings analysis, where is earnings and divs? I want to show you guys this. So they have, you can see it down here. All right. And I'll put up 4 years so that we can see all their earnings. And when Coin initially listed, they were making money, and they were making pretty decent money. In their quarter ending February 2024, they made $3.32 a share. Since the beginning of 2022, they only lose money. And, the losses are tightening, which is better. But, the trend from making a lot of money to not making money is pretty negative. And you can see how it caught the street off guard and how they really have missed. This is the first, they've been beating this quarter, which has allowed them to turn around. But they still have an earnings problem. Now, on a positive note, they do have a lot of cash, $21 in cash per share, still negative cash flow. The market cap of $30 billion is not outrageous if the thing can start moving. But I think there are a lot more hurdles. And the irony is that it's supposed to be about a decentralized platform, and the centralization of these coins is what people were banking on for the expansion of Coinbase. And I just don't see it. I have my feelings on where it's going to go, but I'd like Leisha now to give us the chart and give us some targets and tell us what she thinks, whether she's bearish or bullish on the chart.
Thanks, Mark. Let me share my screen. Well, first of all, if we're talking about coin, we need to talk about Bitcoin, as you did. So let's look at the chart of Bitcoin. I see Bitcoin here. See all these little lows? these little lower shadow tails, whatever you want to call them. We're hitting that support right there right now. So what this candle, though, is kind of ugly red, bearish. But I would watch for Bitcoin to hold this 40,200 area. If it doesn't, then yeah, it's going much lower, like 38.6. But it could hold here. It could wallow. It could, watch that support in there. Coin, I have a little doji on Friday. I'm sorry, a hammer on Friday with some confirmation today. Now that doesn't, it is coming up on this resistance. That was previous support. That comes in right around 129.5. I would watch a close above or below 129.5. This could be the beginning of a bounce from here. It could be retesting. Remember, a lot of times with support and resistance levels, your stock will trade away from it, come back, kiss it, retest it, and then continue lower. That could be happening here today. I think 129.5 is a key level to watch in coin. And from there, if it doesn't break through there, we're looking at 114.85 and even possibly 101.
So, Alicia, what's your upside level there? I got to jot some notes so I can
Sure.
help. I want to put that in the management of the position when I do the pit report here. Look at my notes. Is this crazy? Can you, 30 years of trading, I still take notes and shit like this.
I have the same thing. I have a stack of paper next to me. I have the same thing, Andrew.
I can't do it without it. All right. So you're giving me, what are some of your levels here, Jan?
This support resistance level right here is what it's testing today at right around 29.5.
Okay.
If we close above there, I would say your next stop is right around 135.
Okay.
And then if it really wants to rally, it'd be 154.
Okay.
On the downside, if it doesn't close above here, if it's just testing this again and it's ready to roll lower, there is some support right around 116.
Okay.
And then all the way down is about 101 or 102.
Okay. All right. All right. That gives me some ranges now.
Yeah.
Next Bitcoin halving is expected in April. What do you mean, Barry? I don't know what you mean by Bitcoin halving. They just cut it in half for no reason, or?
That's another major discussion.
Yeah, that's beyond the scope of this. I don't know enough about.
Real quick before I let you continue, I want to point out my Costco trade from a few weeks back.
I believe it was last week.
If I may.
Yeah.
No, it was a few weeks. It was when we were choosing our stocks for the year. I called.
Oh, okay. I thought you. That was our last. Sorry about that. I'll be quiet.
I don't know when it was. When was it? A couple weeks ago, maybe.
So I have. We did Lulu last week, and it was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
It was the January 7th. Sorry.
So Costco, I called for Costco to trade 700 and then possibly 750. It's nearing the 700 level. If you shorted those puts, you're up about $5 or $6 on them. They were the Jan 2025 540 puts. Sold them right around $14. They're trading right around nine or 10. So I would watch the 700 level here in Costco. It may pull back once it trades 700, pull back to maybe 680. So if you're short those puts, watch that level, maybe cover them, take your profits, and then re-enter right around 680 again. That's all.
That's pretty.
On to you, Andrew.
That's pretty awesome. Awesome.
Yes, it is. It's awesome.
Where do I go on Offshore website to open the webinar on the computer? You have to go to the app, Tracy. So this show is for people that have loaded the app. Everybody else, if you want to load the app, you have to call customer support, and we would be happy to set you up. But that's what the deal is.
Take it away, Andrew.
All righty. How's everybody doing? So I got some levels from Leisha. Tried to go on the website, but didn't see. Yep, that's you. So, Tracy, if you just go into the app and you go into messages, you just click the link and boom, you'll start. And we do send email as well to people that have subscribed. Just to let you know. Okay, so here's there's a little bit of interesting volatility here. Let me get some stuff going here for you. So for some of you, I do post the pit report here. Let me share my screen for you. Dave says save the link to your favorites. Yeah, it's the same link. We're not changing it. Lulu, we had this trade in Lulu last week. I sold the puts for $8.15, and then I sold the calls for $1.50. Not much different than that. IBB the week before we sold that. And sadly, my DVN January 45 puts actually would have paid the whole trade, but I closed them at 233. They went to $4. So it actually would have paid the whole trade. I'm down about $1.60 on this one, 160 bucks. So it kind of killed my IBB trade, which is a little bit annoying. So that's a score on Lulu. I don't know if anybody did it, but like when I trade a strangle like this, I'm always looking to see what's going to pay me. And as soon as it's paying, I don't want to let a gain turn into a loss. So I'm pretty aggressive with a stop after I'm up money on that one side. And then I see what happens with the other side. So that's how I trade that position. Now, if you go to the website here, an option pit, when you're trading, remember, if you're buying a strangle, a call, and a put, you're trading the range. If it so happens that the stock just rips or just falls apart while you own it, that's a bonus. But just remember, you're trading the range. My trouble is always I get a little bit, I get ideas sometimes, but you trade the range. Once you make money, you don't want to give that money away. You got to be aggressive with your stop because that's what you're trading. So this is our free newsletters pit report here. So you go to that and you go pit report. You can click here to subscribe. And the track record is here on the right if you want to follow along. So I just put all these trades on. Although I was kind of dumb, I didn't sell Leisha's put, which probably would have helped me because I could have used being a little longer than I was. But anyway, but I put the trades on. I just tell you where I trade them, where I close them, whatever. We do not send out alerts because it's a free service. So if you want to put the trades on, obviously, if you're in option pit, in some of our chat rooms, if you have questions about them, I'm happy to answer at that point. Now, right here's what we have for vol for coin. All right. Let's take a look here. So, obviously parabolic move, right? I like Mark's observation on ARC too. That was kind of fun. Like ARC really made some moves here in December and then kind of fell apart. We had an ARC trade in here a couple of weeks ago. And now Alicia's given us some levels here. You can notice here the volatility is in the 70s, high 70s. And take a look at this here, and I want to just show you here. So let's just look over the last 20 days since the beginning of the year when Bitcoin's been kind of falling apart. So do you guys see how the stock is trading at a 75 vol average for the last 20 trading days? It's like 3 weeks. or that would be a month for 4 or 5 day periods. That's the highest realized vol with a stock price over 100 and probably, I'm going to say, at least a year. We had this one huge gap here. But for the most part, this is since October, we're trading at a high. So the stock is all over the place. So what I would do here is, I don't think Bitcoin is going to zero tomorrow, but I do think it's going down. But what I would set up is we kind of want to set up our little trade here. Let me get a trade sheet going for us. So how I would set this up is as follows. Okay. So really the volatility, let's see, 19, 20, just stay the 22nd. So the vol edge, I think, right? So this is like for coin. So the vol edge is in the realized vol, meaning it's moving up and all over the place. Now, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, feel free to ask questions in here. I got a couple of minutes, but the edge is like this stock. This is moving. 75 vol is almost, what is that? 4% a day. So 4 times 100, $6 a day. So what I would do is I would move the strikes that you're interested in farther out. So my idea here was I want some action relatively quick. If you wanted some kind of long-term short for Coinbase, you could do that. I was kind of looking for some action prior to the earnings on the 20th, because I think basically, lean short, and I would do it via call calendar, because these calendars look kind of, they're not outrageously priced is the short answer. So I was thinking like a 120 call calendar, like the Febo 2, Febo 9, something like that, for about $1.50, 2 or 3 of them. And let me price those for you right now. And get a delta on it. So if we're looking at something like, okay. So the idea is you're going to wander into the 0902. I was looking at around 120. So right now we're pricing, the straddle is priced at $20, $15. So like 120, maybe a little lower. I think maybe we get away with 115. So let's see what the 115 calendar is. So that's the Feb 5th. So this is the 15. I'm going to try both. So we got the 9. Where's my earnings date here? Let me get this squared away. 20th. Let's try the 15-2. If we do the 115 calendar, so that's $3. If I do the 9-2, that's $1.35. Again, and it has kind of like a nice little juicy theta profile. 3 contracts is around 12 deltas. And so this is a relatively, so basically I would do this. Leisha gave us a 129.5. I'm going to bid for the calendar, try to fill, and I'll tell you what I get here in a second. And then if we trade, I'll just set a stop. If we trade 129.5, again, remember the options here are kind of crazily priced. You could probably, the 140 call, let's see here, maybe one of the 145s. Right, because the thing can go anywhere.
Well, because the vol goes up when this rallies and goes down when it falls.
Yeah. So here, like take a look here.
It's an interesting play.
Yeah. So I would do something like that. I would just start with some put calendars. If we rallied over 129, I would just buy like a 145 call, something like that. But if we just keep dropping, I'm just going to let this calendar pay us. And the whole idea is, like, what would be great is if we got this 125, this 115 put for like almost nothing, and stocks trading 118, 119 in a week. if the whole thing melts. If it trades above Leisha's support line, I would just buy a 145 call, and if we're off to the races, and I leave the trade on for a week, see what you get. And that's how I would manage the trade. So you got kind of a beginning, middle, and an end.
I might look at a bear butterfly.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why, because of what I just said. The vol tends to drop when this thing pulls back.
Okay.
And so here's just my simple idea. Oop, I want the 100s. How much the 120, 110, 100 put fly for February, regular Feb, is $1.40.
Oh, that's a good price. How much is that?
$1.40.
That's pretty cheap.
It's really cheap.
All right, hold on for a second. Let me look at that again. I'm going to write this here, but I might like your idea better. Okay, and then I'm going to stop myself. Okay, with a 129.5. That's Leisha's number. Okay, that would trip me into buying one coin Feb 09 145 calls. All right.
So I would do the fly and then use your call strategy the exact same way.
Okay, yeah, I think that works pretty well too. So Mark, what was your mark?
The February 120, 110, 100. So Feb 16.
Yep.
120, 100, 120, 110, 100 put fly.
Okay.
It's about $1.40.
Okay. 140. And yeah, I would like for this, if you're doing those flies, you probably could do the same amount, like 2 or 3, because you're going to stop yourself with this call. That call is fairly aggressive, right? Like if we fly, that call will be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I do like 3 flies to 1 call. So, it is a fairly similar ways, but Mark's idea, I think, is probably a little better. The only thing this is giving me is a chance to have that 115 put
for free
for nothing. That's what I'm,
They're both good. I like both of them, frankly.
Right. But I think if you're putting on a trade, you just kind of want to watch it happen. Mark's trade is probably better.
Yeah. All right,
so,
guys.
Again, you gotta have your own. You have to take your own opinion with this one. But those are the ideas. Hold on here, and then we got to split because I got to go to the trading desk.
Yeah.
Again, we'll post this. How about a strangle with flies? Oh my gosh, well, you're asking me more stuff. Talk about it on the trading desk.
Yes. All right, folks. So you've got
my next class.
So there you have it. You got a couple of good ideas. You've got a coin bear calendar or coin put fly. You stop yourself if it trades over 129.5. You go out and buy a Feb 09 145 call for a hedge. I think I think either of these trades will pay. It just flies and calendars have slightly different characteristics. The nice thing with the fly is you're all in 1 month. The nice thing with the coin with the calendar is you might end up owning the calendar for that put for next to nothing or free. Okay. And that is our plan. All right, everybody. I want to thank you for coming to the Option Pit Ticker Show. If you have questions about any of our services or anything that we do, give us a call, 888-872-3301. We break down this stuff in the trading desk just about every day. Also, mark your calendars, July 22nd through the 24th. That is going to be our next conference in Chicago. It will be held at the SIBO. We'll do all the amazing stuff that we do every year. We're going to hit a Cubs game. We're going to have some steak. We're going to have some amazing special guest speakers. We're going to do live trading with me, Leisha, Vaz, Griff, Frank. So if you want to hang out with other traders, the team at Option Pit, the team at Trade to Close, and listen to a bunch of amazing guest speakers, you definitely want to join us. Give us a call, 888-872-3301 to sign up. I'm Mark Sebastian, your only option. This was the Option Pit Ticker Show.